Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
House of Representatives representing Brakwa Central and North Federal Constituency, but he couldn't get the ticket. Eventually, he joined Accord and contested under the platform of Accord in 2015. Eventually, he lost that election. And after losing the election, he came back to me and said, look, in Nigeria, you must have a source of income to sustain yourself. What do you want to do now? So, well, he's interested in going into farming, that we have arable lands in the Gagantao. So I said, okay, what kind of farming are you interested in? He said, okay, we would like to start cultivating soya beans and then the cashew nut, cash crop. Then he was given 100 acres of land for his soya beans and 100 acres of land for cashew. And he started that. And he went into charcoal business as well and was doing well. So at a point in time, in fear of the fact that Igaga community had been under siege for over 5 years in the hands of these Fulani and Bororo invaders. Oh, excuse me, because my battery is Kausara. My battery is running down. Just 1 minute.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We give you some time.
I don't want to lose you because my battery is running down. So
that's okay. We give you a minute or two to do that. Should we give you a minute or two to do that?
Yes.
You can. I will take off your video for now. Okay, Reverend. Any quick word, any quick comment there while we're waiting for Alhaji Aborode to get back with his device.
I think it's extremely important that we hear from Alhaji the exact details of how Dr. Fatai Aborode died. Yes, I know that we've read newspaper commentaries, we've listened to online stuff, but it's also extremely important that we hear from a family member how the man died and what steps that the family are taking in finding justice for him. It's very important that the man do speak with us today so that we can have a clearer view indeed from someone who knew him very, very well.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm sure Alhaji Brody will join us soon. If I may just add to that, really, I think there's a real issue here, across Nigeria, that more often than not, we have sort of become used to this kind of debt. We treat this as mere numbers, as mere statistics. And I think that is actually a problem at the psychological level. The collective psyche of the people has been badly damaged. And I think there's a sense in which all of us need healing in that respect. We need to resensitize our mind, and that is part of what it means to be human, really. That we cannot just, embrace or accept these kind of unresolved debt as a kind of a new normal, because that is how societies die. That is how civilizations die. And I know that there are also legal issues that we need to clarify and work through. But I think this is one of the main interests of our organization at the IAJP, in terms of actually raising the consciousness of people about reclaiming our collective humanity. That we cannot embrace this as a kind of acceptable new normal, because it can be anybody in the future. It can be any of us, and it just has to stop. Barrister Jide Ogumiliri, do you have any particular comment that you want to offer on some of the legal issues, particularly in terms of the way the government, the authorities have been handling these issues, not only with regard to the specific case of Dr. Rudy, but it is a focal point,
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining this event. Unfortunately, as Nigerians in diaspora, this is not the kind of events we want to be holding. We don't want to be having events just because there are crises back home. But unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves now, and we have to deal with it. In the past 5 or 6 years, it looks as though the criminal activities of Nigerian herdsmen, has increased unabated. And one of the reasons why this is the case is that these people tend to bear arms openly. And I would imagine that the Nigerian constitution and extant law forbids just anyone carrying arms without being licensed. But it doesn't seem to be that the same rules apply to the murderous headmen. So if you find a person, say in Ekiti, carrying arms openly, you would be rest assured that such a person will be arrested by the police and be prosecuted. But that doesn't seem to be the case in Nigeria. So you have to wonder why the double standard? Why should a section of the country, why should a section of the society be able to bear arms without being necessarily persecuted or without necessarily punished, where others are not only disallowed from possessing arms, they are, as it is now, being actively disarmed. I think there are several examples where the Nigerian security agencies, security forces have gone to communities, especially in the Southwest, where they've actively they disarmed people who legitimately were licensed to bear arms. Yeah. But, one of the problems we have is that we have, at least it appears, a government that turns a blind eye to the criminal activities of the Fulani herdsmen. And we do not have, Nigerian law does not support that. Nigerian constitution expects every Nigerian citizen to be treated equally.
So thank you so much for your perspective, Barrister Ogumiliri. We have Alhaji Aborode back with us now. Alhaji, can you signal? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you, Prof. I'm sorry, the battery went flat, so I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Like I said, I was saying.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So eventually, my late cousin went into farming and was doing well. He employed about 200 workers from our community, Nigaga town. At the point in time, those Fulani and Bururu destroyed his farmland. And he complained to Seki Fulani in Nigaga town and to the police. He went there and lodged complaint, and nothing was done by the police. They couldn't go and address the situation by contacting the Seriki Fulani. As I speak, the matter is still in court. Not quite 2 weeks after he lodged complaint to Seriki Fulani, he went to his farmland, and on his way coming back to Gangan town, he was ambushed by the Fulani Bororo people. And we have been under siege for over 5 years. We've lodged series of complaints. Nobody came to our rescue. Nothing was done. Even myself, my house in Igaga was burgled into twice by the Fulanis. I can't go to my town because as a businessman, their first main target, big fish. If I got cut off, they will be asking my family to come and pay them 1 billion naira. And in the process, if I didn't give them that money, they think, it's a successful businessman. You know what? Anything could have happened. I can't go. None of us. We have indigenous all over the world. We couldn't go home. And in the process, he asked them, what do you want me to do for you? They said no. And thus, Fatai was macheted and they killed him.
Wow.
And up till now, nothing has been done by the police. And we're all entitled to state security protection. And how long are we going to carry on? But at this juncture, I want to thank the timely intervention of the traditional rulers, the youth, the students, who now resort to self-help until we found this chief Sunday Boho, who visited our town and said, okay, you can't carry on treating these people like this for over 5 years. You've been terrorizing them, and nobody could come to their rescue. And he gave them 7 days ultimatum to leave our land for us. We are not against peaceful coexistence, but not at the detriment of killing our people. No way. And fortunately for us, Igboho, I am not here to praise him, but he did wonderfully well. He was able to chase them out of our land now, temporarily. So because he's an irredentist Yoruba man, he believes in Yoruba race, and he believes in our system. So, and if anybody is criticizing Igboho, I think we should all work together and be on the side of history.
Yeah.
Yoruba land is under a siege. Yoruba land is bleeding, and we need someone to stop this hemorrhage. My brother has been murdered, and we cannot change yesterday. We cannot for the future. But what we have is the present situation we find ourselves, which I believe we must handle cleverly and work harder for the future. Because no life is worthy of living if it is not dedicated to useful idea. And the failure and success of any leadership of government will always be on the pages of history. Because our children will ask us questions. Mom and dad, what do you do when Yoruba land came under siege? We're under a siege, and something must be done about it. Yeah. Because the conditions and the image of Yoruba land is connected to our influence both locally and internationally. And that is why I appreciate this kind of platform or interactive session. Yeah, that's what has happened to my brother. And we are not happy.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Alhaji Aborode. I can just imagine how difficult this is for you to be reliving this again. And it's very emotional and very, very tragic thing. And we are not taking that lightly at all. So, and we are trying to deal with this with as much sensitivity as we can. And I can see from the way you are talking, you are still reliving that pain, that agony. But if I may just for the benefit of our viewers, across the world, if we may just take a step back, just to look at the evidence, because this is we are trying to engage the world now about this. So if we come back to the murder of Dr. Aborode, the very tragic murder of Dr. Aborode, what are the circumstantial, details and evidence that make us to actually come to the conclusion that the killer were alleged Fulani herdsmen? Can you tell us a bit more about the interaction he had with them before, the kind of conversation he had with them?
What actually happened when he got to Igago town that day? So he left his car because he was building a house in Igago, and he left his jeep there. That asked one of his manager to take him on Okada to his farmland. Both went. So on his way back, those people put on their mask so that people will not be able to identify them. So he was stopped. And then the Okada man just dropped the Okada. And so it was my brother that was grabbed down. They grabbed him down and took him inside the bush. And after a while, they brought his dead body into this main road for people to see. Because people were running up and down when they met them there. But the Okada man, according to Eyewitness account, he said he had them say, okay, we are going to kill you today. You've been giving us a lot of headache. You took us to court and all sorts of nonsense. So that was the Eyewitness account we gathered from the Okada man, because that Okada man escaped unhurt. So that was, and we went to the police station. Yeah, I was invited to come and give Eyewitness account, and he narrated the same story what he witnessed during the attack.
Okay, I mean we'll come back to what the authorities have done in a moment. We'll come back to the police, issue in the moment, because it's important. We need to explore that separately, because these are people that are paid by the taxpayers, to keep everybody safe. We'll come back to that in a moment. And I'll invite Reverend Akingborogunde to, just jump in a moment as well. But I just want to come back there. So what you're saying, because we are looking at the evidence now, what information do we have to show us that these are Fulani ethnic? And what you are saying is that the Okada man that survived the incident was actually recounting what they were saying. So they were talking specifically about the court case. So they were referring to the court case that you took us to court.
Exactly.
And that gives an indication that this is not just any other criminal. These are the people who are, who know about the court case, who are involved, who are party to the court case, and the people that are part to the court case are the Fulani ethnic. Can you give any more information in terms of or what has happened, including his conversation with the Cherokee as well, to show us that this is something that involves
when his farmland was destroyed, according to the report I gathered from Igogo, he actually went to Cherokee and reported what has happened. And what usually Cherokee will always tell our people, we can't pay for that damage done, but we'll give you a compensation. And that was what Cherokee told Fatai, that no, there's nothing we could do. We'll give you 50,000 for the damages done to your farmland. And he said no, he was not going to accept that he would take the matter up and take it to court. And that was led to court case. And maybe Cherokee Fulani Salio was being threatened by court action, because the matter is still in court as we speak. And Fatai was a fighter. He will never give up like that, because he's highly educated. He knows his right. Why should you come and destroy my farmland if I didn't disturb you? Because we've been living with them together for over 50 years. And very recently and very lately, things fell apart. So that what has led to the court action. And I see no reason why that should be enough for them to go and murder the guy. He was murdered. It was a case of assassination in the hands of this Fulani husband. And it's not the first time they did it. They've done it to so many people, many of our people there. And if they go to police station, they don't do anything about it. Because they've gotten away with so many things. When my house was boggled, I called the area commander. I reported the matter to him. I said, okay, they boggled into and took away all my personal properties in the town. But the area commander, that place is being isolated. We are going to investigate the matter. Up till now, I've not heard anything from them. No, that's the case.
Yeah, thank you for that. Reverend Akingborogunde, please, can you comment there? Thank you, Elijah.
Elijah, brother, thank you so much, sir. I sympathize extremely with what had happened to you. The next question that we have is that what has the Oyo State Police Command, what have they done so far? When you have a murder case, you report, the police come, they take the body away, and they begin investigation. And they must constantly report back to the family regularly. So far, sir, what have they done? Are you able to let us know, sir?
Yes. I don't think after the murder, the report was made, the police went to carry out their preliminary investigations. And up to now, they have not reported back to the community to tell us what they've done, about the efforts being put in place to arrest the situation and to bring those people to justice. We have not had anything from the police up to now. And that's what the youth in town. So they now took to self-help. But no, we will not come to carry on this way. If you cannot do it for us, we will do it ourselves. And that's what informed the decision of the youth to go and look for Igboho to come to our rescue. Because they didn't do anything. They've done so many nasty things, among other crimes against humanity in that community for over 5 years. So they didn't do anything. I've not had any good report from the police, or as I speak, until that crisis that happened in Igogon. Troops on the Igboho who came to our rescue. So that's what has happened. We have not received any positive report from the police. And then it's not good for our country, because no investor will come to a country where you cannot guarantee adequate security of lives and properties. So we are entitled to security protection by government, because government must live up to their primary duties by protecting lives and properties. But it's not happening for now. Or no, by tomorrow, I'm not saying that they are not going to put measures in place, but as I speak, the security situation in our local government, in your state and Nigeria at large, calls for a serious concern.
My next question, sir, will be a follow-up. I know this is also very sensitive. Has his body been released back to the family for burial, sir?
Because he was a Muslim, so the following day we just performed the Islamic rites for him, because the body was deformed. The body was deformed. So I didn't have it. If I knew that I will be invited to come and discuss his matter on this international platform, I will have brought some of the photographs. So last week that I left Nigeria for London, so I will have brought it and show you. You will have seen how the body was it was macheted severally. They cut his neck, they cut his hand. I don't know. It was a gory sight. It was a gory sight. I don't want to talk about it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. I can only imagine how difficult it is to talk about this for you. But also, I know that you recognize that this is an effort to really ensure that that Dr. Borode's death does not just other statistics. If his death can mean the saving of many more lives, I think talking about it this way will be more than worth it. And I know, I can see that there's a few reactions coming through. Please, if you have any comment for now, you can put it in the chat. We give some time later on for people to ask to make comments. But if there are any comment now, please put it in the chat. So the other question that I know you already spoken a bit to it is, what are some of the steps that you have taken then, as a leader of the community, as a family leader, as a leader of the community, to try to escalate this, to try to to seek justice, and to try to draw the attention to this problem that continues to rage within the community?
What we are planning to do, all the indigenous of Igogo land, both home and abroad, after Sunday Igboho's visit, we wanted to make sure we keep on with the tempo, because we don't want to relax, because they might come back again and come and start disturbing our people. We've asked the Ibarapa Youth Development Forum to open an account for us. So, and I've sent that account details to all our people in America and the UK and Canada for us to be contributing money. We plan to engage about 70 or 100 local vigilantes to monitor the activities of all these Fulani from Ayete Tapa to Igogo. So, at least to forestall future occurrence. So, that's what we have done, because we've run into the government. The government promised to do a lot of things. There was a stakeholders meeting, which was organized by the government. The Commissioner of Police was in Igogo about 3 days ago. They had a series of meetings with traditional rulers, with community religious leaders as well, and the youth. And they promised to guarantee us safety and for us to live in peace and harmoniously. So that's what has been put in place. But talk is cheap, but execution is what we need. Action, not talk.
And I think those are concrete, and practical steps that are necessitated by the circumstances, because it doesn't make sense for people to just wait to die, if nothing is being done. And I know there are a lot of people who want to make quick comments or ask questions, and we allow you, we give you time in a moment. But I also just want to quickly ask, are you aware of any existing police file open on the murder of Dr. Aborode? Is there any police case being pursued?
The report was made to the security agencies of government, and they're under a duty to do their job professionally well. So they are not going to teach them how to do their job, because we have made a report and they are quite aware. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I suppose what I'm asking is really so much, and this is not up to you. You're absolutely right. But it's also about that these security agencies, they are not private organizations. They are publicly funded organizations, and they have a responsibility to communicate to the public about what they are doing. So I'm just wondering whether is there any public communication, because it is an issue that affects not only.
I don't think that has happened, apart from the measures the government promised to put in place by deploying more Amotekun to about 200 of them to man all those our area there from Takpa to Igogo, which was a welcome development.
Thank you.
That was the only positive response from government, but from the police themselves. So we expect them to come up with a public report. Oh, this is what we have done. These are the suspects we have arrested. As per this matter, we have not received that report from them.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think this is really important. This is really an important issue here, because sending Amotekun and making additional arrangements in terms of security arrangement is good, but there are questions on that as well about how strong are those arrangements. But that does not address the issue of justice for the person who has been killed. So and this is the issue, really. This is the issue. They can tell us, government at federal and local and state level can tell us about what they plan to do or what they are doing, redeploying Amotekun and all of that. We can ask questions about that, about how strong is that, what are the specific measures we put in place. But before we get to that point, the issue here actually is about the murder, the tragic murder of Dr. Aborode. What are they doing about it? What are they doing to arrest the culprit, to prosecute them? Until that is done, any other talk about deploying Amotekun is actually, it doesn't show any level of seriousness or appreciation of the gravity of this issue. And I'm not putting that as a question to you, because obviously you can't answer on behalf of the police. But I think it's an issue that the police, the authorities, need to account for those who have died. They need to account for the death, for the murder of Dr. Aborode, and they need to be accounting to the public. They need to be communicating to the public about what they have done. What is the stage in that process? Have they made any arrest? Have they done any interrogation? Have they charged people to court? If they are not doing that, they are showing us that actually they are not really serious about addressing the root cause of this tragedy. I have a few people who want to make a comment, but Barrister Ogumiloye, were you going to say something?
No, not at the moment. No.
Okay, all right. So we'll come back to that later. Okay, so we have. Sorry,
Professor Kolade, please give me a second before we go to open up the line. Alhaji Aborode, how is the immediate family of the late Dr. Fatai Aborode doing? How are they coping with the loss? I read on Facebook.
He left an aged father, over 80 years old.
Okay.
What do you expect from that old man? The man is still bleeding. And we are just praying for him because he's not happy. But Dr. Fatai was his first son and a proud son for that matter, a breadwinner. So the man is not happy. Nobody is happy. Nobody is happy at all. We are just appealing to government to come into this matter and bring those perpetrators of that act to justice. That's what we're asking for. And that's why our youth went to the government secretariat to protest. And it was that I addressed them. So we still want government to do more. Because like professors have just said, we need to bring those people to justice. That's what we're asking for. They cannot kill human being like that. Look what happened at Tidiri. There was a woman who owned a petrol station. They burgled the petrol station. The woman was kidnapped and slaughtered. Well, how long are we going to carry on with such a social stupidity in our community? It's not possible. Something must be done.
Yeah.
Something must be done.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Alhaji. And I think this is the issue that we need to focus in mind, our collective mind on. That it is not enough to talk about, recruiting more Amatekun. It is not enough to talk about, deploying Amatekun. That is good, but it is not enough. Until you actually account for those who have been killed.
Exactly.
We are not going anywhere. We are not making any progress. And it seems to me at the moment, at least, that if the authorities, if the police are doing anything, people don't know about it. So maybe we can give a latitude, the benefit of the doubt to say maybe some things are being done, but it is already a failure of crisis communication, at the very least. That the police authorities are not telling the public about what they are doing.
It's gone so far.
To apprehend the killers, to arrest them, or actually updating the public about what state they are in that process. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of comments, and this is the way to go. My co-hosts are here. They will be ready to mute people if you go beyond. We are giving 60 seconds only for your comment or questions. Please, co-host, I hope you are paying close attention to that. You can just press the mute button because we have a limited time here. So 60 seconds only. I'm going to take comment from, again, one of our IAGP members, Mr. Enaoro Edgar. And there is also Professor Bukola Oyeniyi, as well as Mr. or Ms. Abba Christy Lulu. We take those three comments first, and then we take another batch soon. Please, 60 seconds. Let's keep to that. Mr. Edgar, you can unmute yourself first. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Enauro Edgar, can you unmute yourself? Okay, can host the call.
Okay, I think I've been unmuted now. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. To ask the relative of the late doctor, the issue that happened in your community, it's not new in Nigeria. It has happened in the Middle Belt. And 3 years ago, we had that herdsman demonstration in London. And it's the same thing. A lot of people were killed and nothing was done about it. The best thing you guys have done right now is to resort to self-help and to have gotten the Mr. Sunday involved. Because if the Benue state government did not act, the genocide going on in their states would have continued until Mr. Sunday got involved and chased them out. They would have continued. So, you guys did the right thing.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Because we're not going to get any justice from the Nigerian government.
Yeah.
Till date, no Fulani herdsman has been charged to court, or, if they arrest them, they usually get released in Abuja.
They will release them.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that comment. Quickly, I will take another 2 comments and then let Alhaji respond to that. Professor Bukola Oyeniyi, 60 seconds, please.
Thank you very much. And I want to salute the courage of Mr. Alhaji for coming on. I've made effort to reach the family. I spoke with the son. I spoke with Nureni. At least you know him. Yeah, there are 3 questions that I'm particularly interested in, and this will give us some clues into what transpired. The first one is that from my findings, I learned that when Sakin Fulani first came to Igaga, he was accommodated by your brother. How true is this? The second one, I want you to take them together. So let me go to the second one. It was also reported to me that about 3 or 4 weeks before Dr. Aborode was murdered, he sent money to buy salt for Sakin Fulani's cattle. How true is that? Why these 2 questions are important is that it will show us if it is true, if they are true, it will help us to establish that there is a relationship between Sakin Fulani and late Dr. Aborode. And if that relationship existed, then are we truly sure that this man could actually order the murder of Dr. Aborode?
Okay, yeah, I think I'll stop there. Thank you very much. Okay, before I ask the third person to make their comment, let me just quickly clarify. I don't think anybody here, certainly not on this platform, is making a positive claim that the Sheikh Fulani ordered the murder of Dr. Aborode. I think the point we are making here is that from the evidence, from what has happened, from what Dr. Alhaji Aborode has mentioned also, that the survival, the Okada survival, has shown us that those who perpetrated that evil were Fulani herdsmen. I think that is the claim that is being made. I think the particular question that is being asked about Sheikh Fulani is not so much, and I will let Alhaji speak to that. It's not so much about whether there is a previous relationship or not. It's a question about facilitating transfer of ransom money, and why at the very least the authorities should be interrogating that about what is the link between Cherokee and those Fulani herdsmen. I think those are the issues for us here at the IGP that we are grappling with. But I will let Alhaji speak to those questions later on. Okay, very quickly, 60 seconds. Mr. Abba Christy Lolu.
Hi, good evening. Yes, I'm unmuted.
60 seconds.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My commiserations to the family of the late doctor who is at the heart of our discussions tonight. I'm speaking from London, United Kingdom. I'm going to go straight to my suggestions. Questions will not be really relevant in this context. I would suggest, number 1, wherever doctor was based, I think he was based in the United States, get campaigns going to get his political representatives involved. Whichever state or constituency he was in, if he was living in the UK, he will have been an MP that you'll be writing to. If he was living in the US, get a congressman as well as the senator from his state involved in the campaign. Look also to starting litigation against particular people in the community, not just the Cherokee. You're going to you have to get lawyers involved. Seek to bring an action against the Nigerian state and name the president, name the state governor in your state. Some of them have interest in these foreign countries. If you can see their assets, list it as part of the things against which you are going to claim damages. You need to attack their economic interest. That is when they're going to wake up.
Stop you there, Mr.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Alhaji, very quick response.
I don't need to stop him.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Let me just respond quickly to the first speaker about my late cousin special relationship with Seriki Fulani. I don't think so. Fatai Aborode was a cheerful giver, but was so good to so many people. But I don't think he will have a special relationship with Fulani, Esma, and Bororo against his people. No, I don't think so. I disagree with that. He was a perfect gentleman, and you cannot kill a fly, talk less of buying daggers or guns and give it to Seriki Fulani. If you are talking of our Oba, the Ashigog of Gogala, it was alleged to have been heading and abetting, giving Seriki Fulani lands in the Gogon town without the approval of the indigenous of the community. So that's the different case entirely, but not Fatai Aborode. It wasn't. I don't think so. He doesn't have any special relationship with Seriki Fulani because most of the Gogon indigenous that were kidnapped, the ransom was given to Seriki, the Fulani Saliu.
Yeah.
So he was the one negotiating on behalf of those abductors and then our people. So what more evidence do you want?
Yeah.
So he's a culprit.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alhaji Aborode. I mean, in fairness, I think the person who asked the question was not really alleging that Seriki, that Dr. Aborode was in cahoots with Seriki. I don't think there's anything wrong in somebody being hospitable. There is nothing wrong with that. So even if it was the case that when Seriki first came to Igangan, it was Dr. Aborode that accommodated him. I mean,
that was an overstatement because Seriki has been in Igangan for over 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying
over
is
50 years.
Yeah. Thank you, Alhaji. But what I'm actually saying is that is actually immaterial to this conversation. So I think what has become obvious from the conversation so far is that and from Eyewitness is that those who killed Dr. Aborode were Fulani.
Exactly.
And there are also then discussion about the involvement of Seriki now in terms of liaising between kidnappers. So, and again, there are allegations. We are not making any positive claim here. We are a serious organization. But if there are reports that the Seriki was facilitating transfer of funds, to release some of the suspects, not only in the case of Dr. Aborode, because Dr. Aborode's case is a focal point for many other cases.
Exactly.
If there is evidence that is facilitating transfer of money to release those who have been kidnapped, then it is important. It's a prima facie case for the authorities to investigate. And I will invite, Barrister Ogunmiloye to speak to that in a moment. Please.
I think there have been several reports on that. So the Seriki is actually culpable of facilitating and negotiating.
Who is speaking?
Sorry, my name is Shogolo Shunde. I just have to break into you. I'm sorry for cutting the protocol.
Okay, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
The Seriki has been accused of being the negotiator for the X-Men and collect the ransom and go to pay to the X-Men. So from the fact is, it is obvious that the Seriki is involved in all of this. That's just the truth. We are not a law court. We are not condemning him, but from the fact on the board, the fact remains the Seriki is an accomplice to the crime being committed by X-Men in Igogo.
Yeah, maybe we say it's a very serious case that needs to be investigated at the very least. Yeah. Thank you very much. I will need to stop you there because our time is fast spent. We have just 9 minutes. We don't want to overshoot the time. And I still want to invite Barrister Ogunmiloye to speak to the legal issues. Now, please, I will be cutting you at 60 seconds exactly. There are a few people who want to speak. And I will go in the order according as I've seen them on the screen. Mr. Oladokun, I've seen your hand there for a while, and then Soji Adewusi, and then Oludare Ogunlana. That's a friend of ours from back in the University of Ibadan days. And then Mr. Lekan Shekumade, please, 60 seconds only. I'll cut you short after 60 seconds, at least in advance. So let's go in that order. Okay? Right, Mr. Sojade, we say go for it because I can't find the other person. Unmute yourself and 60 seconds only, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Soja Adewuse. I live in the UK, in Surrey. I'm sorry I was a bit late joining this meeting due to other commitments. I just wanted to add that given the fact that Mr. Sunday Igboho has taken the fight to the street and has been very consistent with it, I want us to be very consistent in what we're doing and push through. So my only input here is that whatever we do, we should please keep the fight up. And like the other speaker spoke earlier on, if you want to take it to the international level, so maybe we come together with a petition, well constructed, and we can all sign it and put it out there in the international space. Okay. That's just my input.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Dr. Ogunlana, over to you, 60 seconds only.
Thank you very much, and I want to commend you for this initiative. And comrade, thank you, far back from University of Ibadan. I'm from Ibarakwa, and beyond what Sunday is doing at this point in time, this should be a movement, because if you agree with me, this has been going on for so long time. I'm 50 years old. I got to know Fulani coming to our farm, chasing us up and down. I've got to know Obasanjo coming to his farm in Igbohora, chasing them up and down. At this point, we have to, for all the people in the diaspora, we have to start preparing about how we are going to arm our people, and it should turn to a movement to defend ourselves. That's my suggestion. Nobody's going to help us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Ogunlana. It's good to see you again. Right. Can we go quickly then to Mr. Lekan Shekumade and then Samuel Yerokun in that order? Very quickly. 60 seconds only.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. My condolence to Alhaji Majeko Abode and the family. My suggestion, number one, let's keep talking about this. Let's immortalize the name of the departed soul. Let's raise a way by which you can talk about this annually, a kind of remembrance for him. Let the IT guys in our midst set up electronic petition to the parliament here in the UK. If possible, let's contribute money and bring Chief Sunday Igboho to the UK to come and address Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comment. That was quick and short. Thank you for that. Good. Mr. Yerokun, 60 seconds only. And then I'll go to Adeleke Musbau, and then we just, take the final comment before we close.
I'm sorry, but you mentioned my name earlier.
Who is this, please?
This is Olado Koladiro.
I called you, but I didn't find you. Okay, go for it. 60 seconds, and then we'll come to Mr. Yerokun and Mr. Musbau. Quickly, 60 seconds.
Okay, Dr. Aborode was murdered very close to my farm. He's not just a known person. He's more or less an uncle to us. Now, one of the things that I will beseech this house to look into is how to secure the Hot Zone, which is Igagan, the town of Dr. Aborode presently, from reprisal attacks. Fulani are known to always come back for reprisals. Presently, the town have mandated a curfew of 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. and we are trying to organize ourselves into divisions of patrolling and moving on. The best you can do to help us is to help us in securing the town right now from reprisal attacks. If you will allow me, but the time is already gone.
Yes.
We will have to share some of the things we.
Yeah, I need to stop you there, but I think those are really important.
It's all right.
I think those are really, really important contributions for somebody who is actually close to the area. So we look forward to engaging you more on this, Mr. Oladokun. Please, if you can send a direct message, let's see how we can work together. I think that is really important. Thank you for that. So thank you for your contribution. I was looking for you earlier on, so it wasn't like I didn't want you to speak. Mr. Yerokun and Mr. Musbau, please, quickly. 60 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. What I just want to say is that the people at the grassroots, the people right in Iganga and surrounding areas are very important in this fight. And I know that maybe in the next few weeks or days, the government of Oyo State and other people will be meeting them So ahead of that time, they need to have a sort of a list of things that they want, not just what the government is going to bring to them, because they are the ones that are staying there and they are the victims of these murderous activities. And I think one of the major things that they should ask for is that any person coming into that place, whether they are Fulani or not Fulani, should not be allowed to carry weapons. I think that is very, very important.
Yeah,
that's my contribution.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for that. Really important. Mr. Musbao, 60 seconds, please. Unmute yourself. And yeah.
Yes. All protocols are well and duly observed. I'm Musbao Adeleke Adejare. I'm also from Igogo. The early departure of Dr. Aborode is a sad moment for us. And up to this moment, I want the entire house to realize that people of Igogo and in Bakwa region are seriously, even at the moment, facing one thing or the other from this Fulani hardship. We've been doing fantastically in one way or the other to put our effort together as a younger generation of the community in collaboration with the Oladoku. But at this moment, we would like to seek more support in terms of securing our land against the attack of this Fulani, because we, from unreliable and reliable source, we understand that they are hiding in our bush, after the action of Chief Sunday Igboho to engage in more attack to our people. Then I also want to call the attention of the world that people should help us call attention of Governor Seyi Makinde. There's a particular space in Nigaga called Adamong. This has been a space where Fulani X-men are, keeping themselves and their gadgets. I don't know, the hospital has been abandoned since the time of late Bola Ige. So I don't know if there can be any assistance. And I also call the attention of Alhaji Majeko Dumi to this, so that we can look into it. I pray Almighty Allah forgive Dr. Aborode and grant him paradise. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but our time is fast spent. I know that, quite a number of you still wanted to speak to this issue. It's an issue that touches all of us. But we are going to be having this conversation. This is not just a one-off, and we are not just having conversation for the sake of it. We also have action points that we are planning to pursue. So I would just urge you, visit our website and to follow these activities and to keep up with future events as well, because we want to take this forward to see what we can do. There can be no justice, there can be no peace without justice. And in order to promote the cause of justice, is not something that we sit back and outsource to other people. Collectively, as a community, both home and abroad, we need to pool our resources together to tackle this very serious, problem that has killed so many lives, that has, damaged so many lives, and for which we are all saying collectively, enough is enough. Barrister Jide Ogunmiluyi, do you have any comments? There are some of the legal issues that they raised, earlier on. And I thought the question about whether Dr. Aborode, accommodated.
So
it's extraneous, and Alhaji has already told us that is not the case anyway. But are there any other final comment on the legalities before I ask Alhaji Aborode for his final comment, and then we close?
The issue is not so much of legality rather than a socio-political challenge. So, you could argue that the Nigerian government is at least complicit in the way they've handled the herdsmen crisis in Nigeria, at least for the past 5 years. They've been incredibly emboldened. There were crises of herdsmen in Nigeria prior to Buhari emergence as the president, but it was sporadic. It wasn't this incessant. It wasn't this regular. So the problem isn't generally legal. It's more of socio-political, and that's why we put together this platform to see how we can help the people, not just in Yoruba land, but throughout the standard part of Nigeria, to see how they can secure themselves. So we'll be putting strategies together in order to achieve these aims. So as to whether the government can be sued, whether the president and the Oyo State governor can be sued, I mean, that's a little bit challenging, because generally the president enjoys immunity from legal suit. So is the state governor of Oyo State. So if anybody is intending to sue in this regard, I think the best option would be to sue the officials, the security officials of the states. For instance, if there is a commissioner directly in charge of security in Oyo State, and there is a proven breach of their responsibility, so they may be directly sued. The same at federal level, but beyond that, there are several ways we can hold the government accountable, including President Buhari, including the Nigerian states. And we'll be exploring all of these options that we have to hold them accountable. So rather than expending so much energy in individual suits against individual government personnel, I think it might be that we take the Nigerian states and other security agencies up in terms of letting the world see precisely how they've been culpable in these menace back in Nigeria.
Thank you so very much, Barrister Ogumilui, for those really important legal insights. And again, this is just to say to everybody out there, we are interested in pursuing this. As an organization, we are interested in peace, and that is why we're interested in justice. And we are looking at all those avenues, including mobilizing, including raising awareness, but also raising the ante, upping the ante at the international arena, at the International Criminal Court, at all of those legal avenues through which we can pursue justice, we can raise the scepter, so that we can all have a community, that is worthy of us, that our forefathers will be proud of, that our offspring, our posterity, will be proud of. A place where there is peace, where we can develop, where we can progress, where we're happy to have people from other places, if they are ready to live by the rules and live in peace. But where we are saying enough is enough to all this killing and to all this murder. So thank you once again, Barrister Ogumilui. The final word from you, Alhaji Aborode. Are you still there?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity.
What is your final word and appeal to everybody across the world, including those who are watching on TV?
Thank you very much for the conversation since we started this interactive session. I just plead with you, with your organization. The world is changing. We must the way we do things in Nigeria. And if you look around the world itself, you see characteristics about a change. So the force of change outside our state or in general is joined. The situation in Nigeria requires both local and international efforts. Let us pool our efforts together and energies together for effective utilization for the betterment of our people. So we must take the fight to them in Nigeria. So that is why we're appealing to you not to just let be one-off issue. Let us follow it up. I'm sorry. That is my last comment.
Thank you so very much, Alhaji Aborode. It's good to have you here, and you know we are committed to this. We're here. We're on this for the long haul, and we are going to continue to be, working with you, with some of our friends also who have come here. I can see some people from Iganga, like Mr. Oladokun. We are committed to work with you. Please mute yourself if you are. Just. I also thought, All right. So thank you once again, everyone. From us at IAJP, we are pleased to have you here, and please watch out for subsequent, events and also resources that we're going to be putting up there on our website. Any final word from you, Reverend Akingoromude, before we close the session?
Nothing, Professor. I'm fine for now.
So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us today. And please, we are saying, in all your different platforms as well on social media, let's raise the awareness. Let's raise the consciousness of our people. Let's let our people know that enough is enough. This is not right. And we will no longer stand for this. We want peace, but we want justice. And we are not going to take all these, killings and all these murders and all this rape anymore. It's a new dawn. And this future, the future that we seek is in all of our hands. We join hands together, we can achieve that, a future and a community that our children, our children's children, and many generations to come will be proud. So once again, thank you for having us, and enjoy the rest of the evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Very much, Prof.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.